The moment her laughter echoed through the door, I knew. It wasn't the warm, familiar laugh I'd fallen in love with. No, this one was higher, lighter, almost rehearsed. The laugh of a woman still basking in the glow of another man's company. I sat in the darkened living room, motionless, the only light coming from the faint orange of the street lamp bleeding through the blinds. My hands trembled, not from fear, but from the weight of the decision I'd already made. When Emma pushed the door open, she didn't see me. Not right away. Her phone was in her hand, her lips curled into a smile as she typed rapidly, no doubt finishing a conversation she didn't want me to see. She set her purse on the table, humming softly, a melody I didn't recognize. That was when she finally noticed. The living room was empty. The pictures of us on the walls, gone. The bookshelf that once held photo albums of our vacations, our wedding, our first apartment, bare. Even the throw blanket she loved to wrap herself in when she watched Netflix had vanished. Her smile faltered. "Michael!" I stepped out of the shadows. My voice was steady, though my heart felt like it was beating itself to pieces inside my chest. "You're back." She jumped slightly, then forced a laugh. "You scared me. Why are you sitting in the dark?" I didn't answer her question. Instead, I let the silence hang, thick and suffocating. I wanted her to feel it, the emptiness she had carved into me reflected in the walls around us. "Where's all our stuff?" she asked, her voice sharp now, tinged with unease. "Our stuff," I repeated, tasting the words like poison. "You mean my stuff? Because everything that was mine is gone." Her eyes widened, panic flickering across her face. She tried to smile again, to smooth it over with the charm she always used when cornered. "Michael, what's going on? Did something happen?" I stood, the weight of every sleepless night pressing down on me. "You tell me, Emma. What happened tonight? Was dinner with your boss that good?" The color drained from her face. She opened her mouth, then closed it again, fumbling for a believable excuse. I watched the war in her eyes, the scramble between denial and confession. Finally, she settled on the lie. "It was just dinner. We were talking about the Henderson account, that's all. You know how demanding he is." I almost laughed. Almost. Instead, I shook my head slowly. "Funny. Because bosses don't usually call their employees beautiful in text messages. Or tell them how much they wish the night didn't have to end." Her lips parted. The lie crumbled before it even left her mouth. She knew I'd seen. I pulled my phone from my pocket and tossed it onto the table. The screen lit up, displaying the thread of messages I discovered earlier that week when her phone buzzed unattended. Flirty emojis. Late-night confessions. Promises of next time. Emma stared at the screen like it was a bomb about to detonate. Her hand trembled as she reached for it, then stopped, as if touching it would make the betrayal any more real than it already was. "Michael, it's not what you think," she whispered. My voice cracked then, the calm I'd been clinging to fracturing under the weight of my breaking heart. Don't insult me with that line. I've spent weeks trying to convince myself I was imagining things. That the late nights, the secretive texts, the way you pulled away from me in bed, it was all in my head. But it wasn't, was it? She covered her face with her hands. Her shoulders shook, but I couldn't tell if it was from guilt or fear of losing the comfort she'd built with me. "Say it," I demanded, my voice hoarse. "At least have the decency to say it out loud." Her hands dropped, and when her eyes met mine, they were glossy with tears. "I didn't mean for it to happen. It was just, I felt seen again. Appreciated. You've been so busy with work and I held up my hand, cutting her off. "Don't you dare blame this on me. Don't you twist this into my fault. I worked those hours for us, for the life we were building. I came home tired, but I never once stopped loving you. Never once thought of someone else." Her lip quivered, and for a brief, fleeting second, I saw the woman I'd married, the one who used to look at me like I was enough. But that look had been reserved for another man lately. And that realization shattered whatever fragile piece of hope still clung to me. "That's why I erased myself," I said quietly. She frowned, confused. What do you mean? I gestured around the barren room. Every picture, every memory, every piece of me, I took it. Because I won't stay in a house where I've already been replaced. She stumbled back as if my words had struck her. Michael, no, please, we can fix this. It didn't mean anything. I swear it was just a mistake. A mistake. I laughed bitterly. A mistake is forgetting to pick up milk. A mistake is burning dinner. What you did was a choice. Repeated. And each time you chose him, you unchose me. She reached for me then, desperation written all over her face. Please don't leave. I'll end it. I'll block him, quit my job, whatever you want. Just don't throw us away. For a moment I almost faltered. Because despite everything, despite the knife she'd driven into my chest, I still loved her. Love doesn't just vanish with the discovery of betrayal. It lingers, raw and stubborn, long after trust has bled out. But I thought of the text messages, the lies, the hollow smile she'd worn when she came home late those nights, smelling faintly of cologne that wasn't mine. And I knew love wasn't enough anymore. I didn't throw us away, I whispered. You did. Her knees buckled, and she sank onto the couch, burying her face in her hands. Sobs tore from her throat, but I couldn't bring myself to comfort her. Not anymore. I moved toward the door, my suitcase already waiting there. I'd packed while she was out. Each item I folded had felt like burying a part of myself, but it was necessary. Survival always is. Where will you go? She choked out. Somewhere I can remember who I am without you, I said. My hand lingered on the doorknob, my chest tight, my eyes burning. I wanted her to stop me. I wanted her to fight for me the way I had fought for her in my silence, in my denial. In every late night I tried to believe she was mine alone. But all she did was cry. And so, I opened the door and stepped into the night. The weeks that followed were a blur of hollow mornings and sleepless nights. Friends tried to console me, telling me I was better off, that her betrayal said more about her than it did about me. But their words bounced off the walls I'd built around myself. Because the truth was, I missed her. I missed the sound of her humming while she cooked, the way her hand fit perfectly in mine, the quiet comfort of knowing someone was waiting for me at home. Betrayal doesn't erase love. It poisons it, leaving you sick with longing for what once was and rage for what it became. One evening weeks later, I received an email from her. I'm sorry, Michael. I see now what I lost. The house feels like a tomb without you. Every empty wall is a reminder that I chose wrong. Please. If there's any part of you that still loves me, come home. I stared at the screen for a long time, my chest aching. A part of me wanted to forgive, to rush back and try to glue together the shards of what we'd broken. But I knew better. Once glass shatters, you can piece it back together, but the cracks will always remain. So I typed a single reply. You're right. The house is empty. Because I took myself out of it. And I'm not coming back. I hit send, closed my laptop, and for the first time in weeks, I felt the faintest flicker of peace. Not because the pain was gone, but because I had chosen myself. And maybe, just maybe, that was the beginning of healing.